Saturn is stationing retrograde next week. When planets station retrograde, their qualities become intensified. Sun trines Saturn early Monday morning. When Saturn or Jupiter are stationing retrograde or direct, it's always right around when the Sun trines that planet. So you might have found since the end of June, you're in the middle of building. The managers have delegated the authority to you. And soon, next week, you're going to be tested. You're going to be checked in on. Monday is pretty nice. The moon opposes Jupiter in the early afternoon. So the morning has a triumphant quality. The next aspect after that is the moon applying to Venus, applying to a conjunction with Venus. So there are a few hours, 12:32 p.m. Pacific time to 15:50 Pacific time, where you'll have the moon enclosed by benefics, which is really nice. I hope you can have some fun on Monday. If you're going to take a personal day this week, make it Monday. But don't over-celebrate. There's a danger of that with the moon squaring Neptune. Getting too intoxicated, the fox gets its tail wet. Tuesday is a shift in tone with the moon entering Capricorn, and that's it. So if you're going to get things done after taking a personal day, Tuesday is really good for that, for getting things done. The moon moves into Capricorn first thing in the morning. It's applying to a sextile with Saturn, its ruler, all day long. It's like a blank space where nobody's bothering you. You can make progress on things that are important. The moon also makes contact with the Sun in Scorpio on Wednesday. The moon's sextile with Saturn in Pisces goes exact, and it moves on to make contact with the Sun in Scorpio. Wednesday is also pretty simple. Receive the element of surprise, a jolt of some kind. As after the moon makes contact with the Sun, mid-morning, early afternoon, is headed for a trine with Uranus, which it completes on Thursday morning. So you could have a calm morning and potentially a more dynamic second half of Wednesday. There's much more action on Thursday. Day starts off with the moon trining Uranus. That's the moon in Capricorn, trining Uranus in Taurus. So maybe there's a large amount of buying and selling, something like stock market fluctuations, which mid-morning, early afternoon, the moon makes a sextile with Neptune. So mid-morning, there's a floating quality, getting high on your own supply. In Capricorn, sextiling Neptune in Pisces. In the mid to late afternoon, the moon conjoins Pluto in Capricorn. This is the last conjunction of the moon with Pluto in Capricorn in our lifetime, as Pluto moves back into Aquarius November 19th. And this time, Pluto will not be retrograding back into Capricorn. This is the last contact with something that's been dragging along for a really long time. Since 2008, the moon then immediately moves into the future. A fractal pace of the month of November. A microcosm happens on Thursday with the moon touching Pluto in Capricorn and moving immediately into Aquarius. Past reaches out and grabs your leg and tries to pull you back in, but you make a clean break for the future, and then things could start to get messy. Mercury enters shadow late afternoon on Thursday. That means that Mercury is transiting the set of degrees that it's going to retrograde back through, starting on the day of its retrograde station, which is November 25th. Often it's the shadow period that I have the most trouble with, but the effects of the shadow period on you are dependent upon your own nativity, meaning positions of the planets at the time and location of your birth. Also, Thursday evening, the moon opposes Mars, so that sounds harsh. It's the moon in Aquarius opposing Mars in Leo. Again, another preview, a gentler version of Mars' upcoming opposition with Pluto in Aquarius in January and again in April. So keep an eye on this time. Keep an eye on Thursday night, especially if Leo or Aquarius are the activated house for you this year. Thursday has a dynamic quality, very different from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The moon enters Aquarius at 2:57 Pacific time. It might be a little too dynamic. So watch where you point that thing. Thursday night, you might be able to have a good talk or whatever harsh feeling experiences. We're all subject.
Hello.
So after whatever befalls Thursday afternoon, the moon is applying Thursday night to a sextile with Mercury in Sagittarius. So you could end up having a pretty good talk on Thursday night, even though that might spur a cascade of unusual events since Mercury is in shadow. So on Thursday night, just live in the present. Don't take too much stock in what's going on Thursday with the conversation Thursday night, or at least give Thursday night conversations a side eye. Maybe anything related to travel a side eye. Treat Thursday night as a form of foreshadowing. Gentle, silly foreshadowing. It looks fun. Just the official half moon. So the moon is in the second quarter now, and maybe the first part of Friday is pretty uneventful. We're just working on laying the scene for whatever's going to build up for the next full moon next week. Friday night sounds pretty fun because we have the moon applying to a trine with Jupiter in the middle of the night between Friday and Saturday. Friday looks simple. It looks fun in the way that Monday was fun. Simple in the way that Tuesday and Wednesday were simple. It's just another normal day on Friday. Venus applying to a square with Neptune. This could be not understanding the nature of some type of closeness, or again, getting too intoxicated. Monday is actually a bit of foreshadowing for Saturday. So while Friday is just another day, be marked by a sort of peak delusional quality. The things that Neptune brings: delusion, deception, vagueness, fogginess, also spirituality and compassion. They're less likely to be constructive on Saturday because the aspect Venus makes with Neptune is a square. Passion could be misplaced, or your sense of closeness could wind up being betrayed, or you might find that you yourself are the traitor. First part of Saturday, you get dreamy, steamy tendrils of the Venus-Neptune square still swirling around us. The element of surprise, as in the afternoon, the moon completes a square with Uranus, so it feels like, with Venus squaring Neptune on Saturday, the early part of Saturday, we're in for a rude awakening. After that, late afternoon, early evening Saturday, everything is wrapped up in a pretty bow, even though you might not be able to trust it. You may or may not. It deserves a raised eyebrow. The moon sextiles Venus in Sagittarius. All of Saturday has this detached quality that's sort of off. It's off axis from the Venus-Uranus square. Friday and Saturday have a detached quality despite all these relational things happening. The moon in Aquarius, sextiling Venus in Sagittarius, is like a little gentle nudge, bringing you back down to reality, or giving you a new ideal for how things could be, possibly more realistic, and maybe even better than whatever's going on in the Venus parts of your life. At the end of the day, Saturday, the moon moves into Pisces, so you're actually going to experience the fallout or consequences or beautiful romantic results, whatever they are, of the Venus-Neptune square on Sunday. Sunday is somewhat difficult. Simple, but you're not going to get the ease that you got Friday or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wake up to the moon in Pisces, but all day long it's applying to a square with Mercury in Sagittarius. So watch your mouth. Not necessarily with curse words, but just watch what you blurt out. Pray for protection while traveling. It's Mercury in Sagittarius, so it could be too much of a good thing ends up making you feel a little scattered. Square with Mercury goes exact on Sunday at 2:19 Pacific time. The second half of Sunday has a little heaviness with the moon conjoining Saturn in Pisces. There could be a sadness on Saturday, or just a low energy mood. There could be a feeling in the air. It's cantankerous, sad, gloom. Saturn squaring Jupiter. So while you might want to chill, but you have to go out and have an amazing time, that could get you into a little bit of trouble later. It squares Jupiter in Gemini, early Monday morning at 5:07 a.m. Pacific. Enjoy Sunday night. It's the last vestiges of Venus in Sagittarius, before Venus moves into Capricorn, where you will be much more productive, and you'll love it. Remember your camera is a... Wait. Remember your Wi-Fi is a camera that can see through walls.